Your radio is locked to the best gospel radio show heard all over the world. Real Gospel with the X-Man.
Bring it back, hey! We talk about that real gospel, baby. About a real God. Yeah!
Family, welcome to the second hour of Real Gospel. My name is the X-Man, your radio minister of music. This is the music of Adrian B King. This is called So Amazing. Turn your radios up because this is Real Gospel.
Well, when I think of His grace and His mercy, just one word comes to mind, and that word is amazing.
His grace is favor I can earn,
Yeah.
and all His love I don't deserve. It's only by His grace I'm blessed, and I can keep it to myself.
His grace
Grace is favor I can earn,
and all His love I don't deserve.
and all His love
Real Gospel is the place where God gets the glory and artists tell their stories. So amazing, so amazing, so amazing. I'm not talking about that song by Luther Vandross. Y'all know better than that, because So Amazing is tearing up the charts. I am so honored to have this man of God with us on Real Gospel, the one that you just heard in the song So Amazing, the one, the only, Adrian B King. Adrian, welcome to Real Gospel.
Hey, sir, glad to be here, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you don't have to call me sir, just call me X. That's fine. Yes.
Gotcha.
So what city are you calling me from right now?
Right now I'm in Detroit, Michigan, but I'm based out of Chicago, Illinois. So
Okay. South side, north side?
South suburbs.
Okay.
So I guess we could claim South Side. They're my cousins.
Okay.
You know how that go.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Listen, I always say, by the way, congratulations on the music, and we are loving So Amazing. You have nothing but love and support from all of us here at Real Gospel, my friend.
Oh, man, I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's definitely what's
So
up.
what's the story behind Adrian B King? Well, how did Adrian grow up, and how did Adrian come into the knowledge of the Lord, and how did Adrian eventually end up with a recording contract to bring us So Amazing?
Well, I mean, basically, I was a young kid, again, from the south side of Chicago, kind of misdirected. You know, I had one of those mamas that believed in church on Sunday. You go at 7 a.m. for sunrise service.
What?
Then you stay for Sunday school.
Mama made you go to church?
At 9 a.m. Oh, my God.
I know it's a new day, right?
Right, and I was a little bad boy. I was so bad. I've repented since, but I'd go to church and I'd be carving gang signs on the back of the pew and just all kind of just foolishness.
Oh, wow.
And the interesting thing that got me into music was really a girl. There was a young lady, I'll never forget her, that I had this crush on. And so I said, man, she's in the choir. I need to get in the choir so I can be close to her. That way I can kind of shoot my shot, you know. And so I couldn't sing a lick, and I got in the choir, got in the tenor section, and she was a soprano, so they sat me right next to her. So I said, cool, I can talk to her every rehearsal, this, that, and the other. Well, she used to have some trouble getting her parts. So I said to myself, well, if I could learn how to kind of play her part, maybe I could have private rehearsal with her before the youth get there, and then that'd be my opportunity to get in the door. So what I would do is come early and just try to pick out her part on the piano. Then other people needed help in the choir, so I would try to pick out their parts. And fast forwarding, our choir director got sick one rehearsal and couldn't show. So here I am, and they said, well, Adrian, you know our parts. Why don't you go over there and play our parts? And so I said, I can't do that. But I went on and did it, and then just kind of further development just went on and on and on. And next thing you know, I was a little young musician. So that's kind of how that started. And then, you know, my mom encouraged me. You know, she went on to be with the Lord in 92, but she encouraged me that I had greatness in me and a gift. And, you know, it just kind of grew from there. Well, yeah, pretty much grew from there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So how did you go from, I mean, what was next for you? And I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your mom. I know that is tough. And what led you to eventually being able to record music? Do you play any instruments?
Yes, I play keyboards. I play drums.
So,
what happened was, I was an only child. And at the time of my mother taking ill, you know, she always used to pray, Lord, let me stay around long enough for him to develop family, for him to get community. And so I heard little lyrics and melodies and things in my head, so I took some time and I recorded them on a cassette player. You know, back in that time, we had cassettes. Mm-hmm. And I sent some of my music to a few gospel artists that I knew, people that were recording, and none of them accepted my music. As a matter of fact, one person that I sent it to, I paid $30 to FedEx them a cassette. And 2 days later, I received a FedEx back. They had literally taken my FedEx envelope, put it in another envelope, and sent it back to me unopened.
Wow.
And so at that point, I'll never forget, we were at our church painting, and the pastor of the church, Pastor William H. Conley, I was telling him what happened, and I had tears in my eyes, and he says, well, why don't you put your own people together? Why don't you find, you got singers right here around the church that you could put together and you all could sing. So then I recruited some of the singers from the church, and we started having rehearsal, and I taught them a couple of my songs, and we went and sang at a church, and it went over well. And consequently, that's how my group, Adrian B King and Reverence, was birthed. And that was in September of 1992. Now, here's the ironic thing, X. The day that I had my first rehearsal with the group that I put together, my mom went to be with the Lord that day.
Oh, no.
So our first singing engagement was my mother's homegoing service.
Oh.
And so I thought back to what she said, for God to allow her to be around long enough for me to get family and to build community. So even to this day, we all call ourselves family.
Wow.
And this group is now 24 years old.
Wow.
And so we went on in 1997 to actually record our first CD project. It was produced by Percy Gray, famed producer, Chicago Mass Choir, New Direction. Percy is one of my best friends to this day. And we did that project, did a couple of other projects, and then I met Professor James Robeson with JDI Records. I was out.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything for a while, and I was like, oh, wow, he doesn't like it. Come to find out, he had reached out to me several weeks prior, but he reached out to another email that I didn't really frequently use. And so we got a chance to meet, and here we are. So our new project is called So Amazing, and it's going to be released on JDI through Sony Distribution. And so we're excited about what God is doing, man.
Amen.
It's been a journey.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And so being a musician and putting together, what has been the biggest struggle in keeping your group together? And, has it been interchanging people, or are there the original people from the very beginning?
Oh, no, it's definitely interchanging people. We usually have people for about a good 7 or 8 year span for the most part. But I know people's lives begin to kind of take different directions. I have singers that have actually gone on and done their own projects. I have some that are pastoring kids, so the people change, but the heart and the spirit kind of remains the same. And so I'm just grateful that God kind of directs me with new, fresh talent and new, fresh ideas that we're able to still move forward in the vision, even with different personnel. So he's done real good with that.
Amen. Amen. If you're just joining us on Real Gospel, I'm speaking with gospel recording artist Adrian B King. The new single is So Amazing. The CD project is called So Amazing, and he has been giving an amazing testimony, just simply amazing. What can we expect from the CD project?
Oh, man, the CD has some of everything. We're a contemporary group, so you're going to get some contemporary. You're going to get some great praise and worship. You're going to get a little church. You're going to get some great musicianship. We've been blessed with some of the greatest musicians in the world. So we have some instrumental pieces, and we even have some throwbacks from previous projects. We decided to do a medley to kind of celebrate the journey of all of our projects. So it's something for everybody. I call it the Golden Corral of music.
Not the Golden Corral. Yeah, that's
Golden
my spot
Corral,
too.
Ryan's, and you're going to find what you need.
Amen. Amen. So you're writing most of the material on the project?
Yeah, I think the record has 11 songs. I may have
Wow.
written 8.
Wow.
I think I wrote 8 of them, yeah.
Wow.
And I try to open up to new writers and
Yes.
new talent and fresh talent, too, because I just think back to when people didn't give me an opportunity, so I always made it a point that, I would try to provide opportunities, at least with whatever platform I have for others, because I know how it feels to get your song sent back to you unopened.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
I still have the FedEx envelope to this day, and that was
Wow.
over 20 years ago.
Wow.
I still have it.
Is it hanging up in the wall in your studio?
Now, I got it in a crate.
Okay, I was in the crate.
I got it in a crate,
Okay.
but I still have it, just as a reminder.
Gotcha.
Because, and it's funny, I'll say this as part of
Mm-hmm.
the testimony, most of the same people that denied me or rejected me have since come to me and asked me to do things. Isn't that amazing?
That's God. That's
I've
God.
toured and traveled with some of those individuals.
Wow. Wow.
that denied me.
So to the people who are listening right now and they have gifts, musical talent, and they're looking to get some exposure, what's the process? What quick advice can you give them in terms of how to be heard, how to get their music properly submitted, things of that nature? What can increase their chances?
First of all, as it relates to recording, you have to produce a quality project. I think one of the things that kind of separates the men from the boys, so to speak, in this day and time is the quality of the recording. I don't swing on people recording at home, because you can record at home and have a great system and have a great setup and still produce a good project. But what tends to happen a lot with locals, with us having limited resources, then we start cutting a whole bunch of corners. There's some corners that you just can't cut because your project has to sound industry standard. I mean, the industry is totally different now than it was. It's hard. It's hard out here now for all artists, even majors. I'm friends with a lot of major artists, and it's not as sweet as it used to be. They're not selling the projects that they used to sell. And now when you look at radio and you look at everything that's happening, it's a cesspool, especially with iTunes. Everybody has a project now. Everybody is an artist.
Yeah.
But in order to stand out, you have to record quality songs on quality equipment, quality material. If you don't have a producer, get a producer. Get someone who knows what they're doing. What you do on Sundays at church or at a musical is completely different from the process that's needed to do a project. YouTube, let that be your best friend. Social media, let that be your best friend. You can sit at home and you can make yourself look like Kirk Franklin from the comfort and convenience of your own home. That's the beauty of it now.
Yeah.
Most people, say call my office, you're calling their cell phone. We have those resources now that we can kind of give the perception that things are different than they are. But let YouTube be a friend. And I mean, when you get to the point that you're trying to go national, you got to have the resources to be able to do it, because radio promotion and retail positioning and shelf space, it's just so expensive. But start small. I would say start small with your local community, with your church, with your city. Build you a base, build your following. Get some people on your team, and then try to move forward from there. That's what I would suggest.
Amen. Thank you so much for that advice. You've blessed so many people, my friend. Well, listen, Brother Adrian, it's been a pleasure and an honor having you on Real Gospel. How can the listeners find out more about you, your CD project? How can they keep up with what's going on in your life?
Oh, great. Well, let me help you out. Our website is AdrianBKLive.net. Again, that's AdrianBKLive.net. That's our group website, and then we can be reached via social media on Facebook. We're at Facebook.com/Adrian B King and Reverence. I'm also on Facebook, even though I'm maxed out with friends, but Adrian B King. You can follow us on Instagram at @ABK, which is AAYBEEKAY. Same for Periscope, @ABK, AAYBEEKAY. And then we're also on Twitter, @Adrian B King. Our business number is area code 313-444-5610. And our email address is abkandreverence@msn.com.
Amen. Adrian, thank you so much for joining us, and you always have our support here from this gospel program, because we believe in supporting artists who are doing kingdom work, God's work, and you're definitely doing kingdom work and God's work. Thank you for joining us on Real Gospel, my friend.
Man, we appreciate you so much for spending us and playing us and all of the love, and any service that we can be to you, man. Please don't hesitate to give us a hit.
All right. Amen. One and only Adrian B King.
Blessings.
Family, the real flashback song of the hour is up next.
You're listening to Real Gospel with the X-Man.